Welcome, everyone, to another fantastic episode of 1, 2, 3 Wrestling. I am your host for this episode, Nick Slade, along with my minions, Kristen.
You do know I don't write your paychecks, but I technically write your paychecks, right?
I don't get paid. What are you talking about?
oh, you know what? No, never mind. I'll keep the WrestleMania stuff I got you then.
Okay.
The wrong thing, man.
Okay, Mo. Okay, Kristen, you're second assistant commander. How about that?
That'll do for now.
Wow, a meaningless title.
I know, right? Isn't it great?
But as you can see, because I'm in charge of this episode, that means we are going back to the Impact Zone for Impact Rebellion 2023, and we got a good card for this pay-per-view as usual for Impact. So let's get into it. So
what's been going on?
Lots been going on. This first match has got a lot of backstory, so it's going to take a little time. It's going to be Eddie Edwards versus PCO in a last rites match.
I had to look up what this was. I'm like, oh, it's a very neat casket match.
Yeah, then there's a little infamous history of the original last rites match. It involves Vince Russo, so little backstory on that. The last rites match was between Sting and Abyss. I'm trying to remember what year it was. I don't remember. But it was really contrived, as most Vince Russo matches are, because it's a casket match, but they put the casket in the middle of the ring. And the goal is to get the person in the casket and then the casket be raised towards the ceiling. But because it was in the middle of the ring, Sting and Abyss couldn't wrestle properly, and the match was terrible. And it was so bad that the crowd was chanting.
How bad was it?
The crowd, I'll tell you, it was so bad the crowd was chanting "Fire Russo" so loudly that the announcers had to yell into their microphones in order to commentate the match. And that was ultimately one of the things that ended up getting Russo fired from Impact.
So let me get this straight.
TNA.
What AEW did was, instead of it going up, it just like Hollywood Tower Terror went down instead.
Well, now since they bring back the last rites match, they've retold it just to make it basically a casket match. I don't know if it's going to be raised towards the ceiling, but I think it's not going to be in the middle of the ring this time, so they can actually wrestle. So that's the backstory of the last rites match. But now the backstory for PCO Eddie Edwards, which goes back over a year, all the way to Hard to Kill 2022, when the debut of the group Honor No More, which for those of you who are not familiar out there, was a group of Ring of Honor alumni who decided to who had thrown away Ring of Honor's honorable code and decided to invade Impact Wrestling. Ultimately, their leader was revealed to be Eddie Edwards, and PCO was a member of this group along with the Kingdom and Vincent and eventually Kenny King. And Honor No More dominated until Slammiversary of last year, where they lost to the Impact Originals, which was Frank Kazarian, the Motor City Machine Guns, Nick Aldis, and Davey Richards. And PCO took the pin. And so since then, Eddie Edwards would question PCO's loyalty, and he faulted him for why Honor No More kept losing, including their losses against the odds and Victory Road, and a failed bid to Impact Tag Titles with Vincent. And then at Bound for Glory, Eddie Edwards failed to win the world title from Josh Alexander and went away for 2 weeks. He then came back and tried to regroup Honor No More together, but he was being so condescending about it. PCO finally snapped and just started beating the hell out of everybody. And then, of course, the Kingdom and Vincent left. Kenny King and Eddie Edwards tried to keep it going for a little bit longer, but ultimately that was the end of Honor No More. But Kenny King and Eddie Edwards remain allies. So about 2 weeks later than that, Eddie Edwards and PCO met up in the Great Basin Desert in Nevada, where they actually had a fight in the desert.
Oh, yeah, he buried him, yeah.
And he barely buried him in the sand. Just buried him. PCO was dead for now. Until 2 months later in Hard to Kill, where he came of this year, he came back and attacked Eddie Edwards, and he's been haunting him ever since. On the March 9th Impact, they had a rematch in the desert, and it seemed like the PCO was about to bury Eddie Edwards, only to be run over by a car that helped Eddie Edwards. PCO got ran over by a car, and the car got Eddie Edwards to safety. Now, it was originally thought that
Kenny King was the one driving the car, but he denied it. And guess who it ended up being?
His wife, Eddie Edwards' wife, Alicia Edwards, who for the past year has been condemning her husband's actions for Honor No More, but apparently she's okay with it now.
As you would.
We're gonna stay Rikishi for a moment there.
he did it for Eddie Edwards. So now Alicia Edwards is a heel. Now we're back with her husband, and now finally Eddie Edwards and PCO are going head to head in a last rites match.
Oh, you forgot to bring up how PCO returned. Was that hard to kill?
I did,
and like that. He had like a mouthful of dirt too.
Oh yeah, because he was buried.
It was a nice little touch.
Yeah, he was buried. So yeah, PCO.
One.
PCO's basically been Impact's Kane, I guess, like his very monster character. And for anyone not familiar with PCO, he has a very long, interesting history. I mean, this guy's been wrestling a long time. He was one of the Quebecers in the 80s, and he reinvented himself with this Frankenstein-like character. And it's been really good. And so now, what do you guys think? Do you think PCO is going to finally get his revenge on Eddie Edwards, or will Eddie Edwards bury this monster once and for all?
Well, I think on Hard to Kill, you told us was basically that, and we kind of talked about after the show, which was this is basically Eddie Edwards' path to redemption. Basically, he's fighting all of his past, going through all of his past demons. Like,
yeah,
we were judgmental on him winning at Hard to Kill, but then it made sense because it's like he's trying to rebuild himself again after what happened with Honor No More. So, yeah, I'll go with Edwards on this. PCO can take the loss. Plus, like, it's a hardcore match. Technically, we have, like, if I'm looking at this right, we technically have 2 hardcore matches on this event, if we're counting this one. So it's going to get brutal. But I think Edwards is going to come out on top. Maybe with some help of Alicia Edwards. Don't know if she's going to get choke slammed to death, but we'll have to wait and see.
What do you think, Mo? Who's going to win?
I mean, I feel like if this has been going on for a long time, I feel like it's just going to keep going on. And Edwards is going to win, come out on top. And then, PCO may just put his sights on someone else for the time being, or he gets some other horrible thing done to him and he's dead for a little bit till he comes back again, till a bolt of lightning comes and strikes his tombstone, and then he's just like, I have risen again.
Yeah, I think Eddie Edwards is going to win. I think they're rebuilding Edwards. I'm not sure where he's going after this, but we'll have to see. Okay, so we all agree on Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
So next up, we have No Longer Violent, the design.
Because they murdered Eric Young.
He hasn't been seen since.
Like they murdered Taya Valkyrie, apparently, too.
They did. I'm going to get to that.
Okay, can I just say that is so weird. That's Impact's policy for if you're leaving the company, they basically do the equivalent of kill you off. Not even just write you off. No, they murder your ass off.
They took that from Lucha Underground.
And then if you decide to come back, they give you a reason for coming back.
Yeah. But at least they always have it around involved in their supernatural storylines, at least.
No, Eric Young got stabbed to death.
Yeah, but he hasn't come back yet. Like, so they can always
Eric Young could come back as Super Eric.
Super Eric.
Oh God, no.
They could always just say that they left him for dead, but he survived. But
go on, Nick. Go on.
But okay, so what's going on now is right now the design is Diener, Alan Angels, and Khan, formerly known as Connor, in NXT. And unfortunately, Joe Doring is still dealing with his resurfaced cancer. Wish him all the luck in that. And they decided to recruit Sammy Callahan, who is now just Callahan, because in this group you can only have one name. So it's just Diener, Angels, Callahan, and Khan.
Okay, let me ask: which will you go with your first name or last name if you had to choose? If you joined the design,
last name Slade.
Until you get sued by Warner Brothers.
Mo, I mean, there's already a very popular Mo already knows there's already a very popular Mo in the world of OSW. So, like, would you go brothers?
This is brothers.
I would go with Mo. I would still go with Mo. Just
Mo.
for the
there's already
sake
a king. There's already a King Mo. You could be Emperor Mo.
Mo.
The thing
Mo.
is
God
that
Emperor Mo.
if I went with Mo, that just gives a reason for King Mo to get some spotlight.
Yeah. But okay, so what's going on here is in order for Callahan to join, Diener's been making him do a series of tasks to earn his way into the group. So his 7th task was that he had to eliminate all authority in his life. And Callahan took that literally when he attacked the new director of authority, Santino Marella. He beat him down. And over the past few weeks in backstage segments, Santino has made friends with Dirty Dango and Joe Hendry. So they came to his aid. Oh, those segments have been funny. Like
I saw honestly, one of them where where Santino reunites with Kozlov in the back.
Honestly, Joe Hendry's funny because anytime somebody mentions his name, he just sticks his head out and his theme song plays. It's funny. And so yeah, Dirty Dango and Joe Hendry came to his aid, and Santino decided, okay, you want to fight me? It's going to be a 6-man tag. It's going to be Santino, Joe Hendry, and Dirty Dango versus 3 members of the design. We don't know which 3 members. It'll either be Diener, okay, Angels, Callahan, and or Khan. So that's the backstory for that. So Santino trying to get revenge on the design.
Does anybody remember the last time they saw Santino Marella wrestle? Like serious, like wrestle, just like I'm not even talking just WWE, just in general. Like the last thing I remember him in was a weird when SmackDown was irrelevant, and like at the time it had that relevant relevancy arc where it was like they just do random matches because Raw was the only one that mattered. I think the last match I actually remember was he was involved in a match with Great Khali where he took out a flute and it controlled Santino's Cobra. That's the last vivid match I remember of Santino. What about you guys?
He did remember he showed up in the 2020 Women's Royal Rumble as Santina, and people were like, "No."
I actually blocked that from my mind. Thank you, Nick, for reminding me.
Oh, don't worry, Nick. I remembered.
And the last match I can find he actually wrestled was July 2019 at a Battle Arts Academy show, which I think that's his promotion.
Oh, you did your research. Good for you on that.
Well, I am the researcher of this group.
Okay. But sorry.
So as far as I can tell, it's been at least since 2019 since he's wrestled, but he might have done something or other.
So you want us to pick first before you pick your prediction?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Okay. The design. If we're basing around the story that Callahan needs to still be initiated to join them, I would feel like Callahan would have to pick up the win here just to officially join the group. Because let's be honest, that's the reason they having Sammy join. Eric Young kind of leaves a slightly big void to fill.
Yeah, but I'm kind of wondering what Callahan's actual motivations for joining the group are. Does he actually want to join? Does he want to destroy them from the inside? I don't know. Because
maybe he'll lead to something at Slammiversary, this summer.
Yeah, but yeah, I think I agree with you on that. I think Design's going to win this. What do you think, Mo?
I don't think the Design is going to win. I think it's just going to lead to Sammy, failure, but then reveals I wasn't going to be a part of you guys anyway. And then he says, sure, I was going to try and destroy you from the inside. And then makes one of the other members of the Design more of the focal point of the group.
Well, Diener's the leader, so I don't know. Maybe it'll lead to a match between Diener and Callahan. I don't know. I feel like if Callahan is going to betray the group, it'll be closer to Slammiversary. Which, it's not too far. When is Slammiversary this year? One moment. Where are you? Where are you?
Who are you? What are you
doing here? Who are you? What are you doing here?
No, I was talking about like Batman Begins. Like, where are you? Here. Ooh. Let me see real quick. May, June. Oh yeah, here we go. Slammiversary is going to be July 15th.
Mm-hmm. There's still time, yeah. There's still plenty of time for him to do the backstab or turn on and go, fuck you guys. I was never going to join you.
Yeah, he might stick around for a while. So, yeah, I'm going to go with design. Mo, you're going with Team Santino?
Yes, I am.
That includes Dirty Dango and say his name is Joe Hendry.
Is he still digital media champion?
Yes.
Cool.
He's now the longest reigning digital media champion.
Cool. He deserves it. Well deserved.
Okay. So yes. So you and I went with design Kristen and Mo went with Team Santino.
I can see them doing Team Santino just because it's like I think this is still the WrestleMania talking, but like, you still have like a legend in Santino a part of it. So like,
yeah, but I can see design winning and probably Diener going after the digital media championship and maybe Callahan costing him down the line.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay. So next up for the Impact Knockouts World Tag Team titles, the new champions, the Coven, which is Kylan King and Taylor Wilde, are taking on the Death Dolls of Jessica and Rosemary. Little backstory on that. Like, I know last time you guys watched Impact with me, the Death Dolls were the champions, right? With Taya Valkyrie, all three of them.
Mm-hmm.
What happened with that? Let me pull it up so I have it. On the March 16th episode of Impact, well, prior to that, Taylor Wilde, she's gotten this new Wiccan style, like witch gimmick she's been going on with. So in the past few weeks, she formed an alliance with Kylan King, and they formed a tag team called the Coven. And on the March 16th episode, they beat the Death Dolls of Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. So the following week, Jessica went around backstage looking for the Coven, but she stumbled upon a casket, which is never a good thing when you're hunting witches. Valkyrie was worried that the Coven's magic will reveal her past life as Havoc, tried to calm her down because Jessica's got this split personality thing going on,
right?
Where she's the normal Jessica and the Violet Havoc, and Valkyrie was worried that the Coven was going to bring back Havoc, so they tried to calm her down. But then a hand emerged from the casket and pulled Taya Valkyrie into the casket, and she disappeared. So basically writing Valkyrie off from Impact. So on April 6th edition of Impact, they announced the Death Dolls, which now is just Jessica and Rosemary. So pretty much it's just Decay again, but I guess because she's Jessica, it's still Death Dolls. Yeah, they'll have their rematch against the Coven for the titles.
Okay, so Coven have only been champions for a bit now, right?
As of this recording, second. It has been 42 days. 42 yes, days. Because tape delay. Sorry. Yeah, because they actually won title February 26th. Okay. It was aired on tape delay on March 16th.
See, this is difficult because they... Wait, was that somebody else going to say something?
So, not counting tape delay, it's only been about a month.
Okay. So this is what I hate. Because with WWE, it's kind of obvious. With Impact, I swear to God, Scott D'Amore sneezes once and he decides to change his fucking mind. Like, this one's, I
give you my thought. Give me my thoughts to help you decide.
Go on.
I think the Coven's going to win.
Okay.
I think the reason why, because I think they're slowly having Jessica lose control again and becoming Havoc, and she may either. Which you think would be a problem because she was already Havoc when teaming up with Rosemary anyway, but it may lead to her feuding with Rosemary and seeing the official full breakup of the Death Dolls.
Okay. Well, then I'll go with Coven then, based off that.
Yeah, and Kylan King is a new signee, and they're trying to push her. And Taylor Wilde is a new gimmick for her. They're trying to push. So that's everything they're going to win. What you think, Mo?
I mean, I don't have too many thoughts about the women's tag division. So, I mean, for this, I would have to agree with the general consensus and go with the Coven.
Go with them witchy witches. All right. So we all agree on the Coven. Next up, it's going to be really good. For the Impact World Tag Team titles in an Ultimate X match, Bullet Club of Ace Austin and Chris Bay defend against the Motor City Machine Guns. Oh yes. For those of you not familiar with Ultimate X match, it's like a ladder match without the ladder. There are 4 poles going up each ring, and across the 4 poles is a rope that's in the X. The goal of the Ultimate X match is to climb the what I just called them posts, and then climb across the ropes and to grab the belts in the middle, and then you drop down the win.
That sounds pretty extreme.
Ultimate X is great. Ultimate X is one of the best original matches Impact has ever made. Like it's up there. It's probably one of the best. It probably is their best match, the original match they've made.
So
that's one thing I love about him.
Is this the first time they're doing like a tag team version of this match?
No, absolutely. No. They've done a lot of them.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure.
There's been plenty of them. The last one, it has been a while since the last one.
That's why I was curious. The last couple of X Division matches have been some of the better matches on the card.
The last tag team X Division match was it was July 2016 Extravaganza 4 when the Helms Dynasty beat the Bromans. But the last time they had a tag team X Division match for the titles was March 2015 when the Hardys defeated the Dirty Heels, Bram and EC3, and the Beatdown Clan for the vacant titles.
So it's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since they had a tag team title match.
Okay.
So it's been a while, yes. And this is a good. So Bullet Club. Let me get the exact dates. Okay, here we go. And No Surrender, Bullet Club, which was Ace Austin, Chris Bay, and Kenta, teamed up to take on Time Machine, which is a combination of the Time Splitters and Motor City Machine Guns. So it was Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida. They defeated him in a 6-man match, and Austin pinning Sabin, which earned them a tag title shot. On the next episode of Impact, Austin and Bay beat the Motor City Machine Guns for the titles. And now, a month later, they're now initiating their rematch clause, this time in an Ultimate X match.
Okay. I mean, War Machine Guns have had for multiple consecutive. I think don't they currently hold a record for most tag team championship wins in Impact/TNA?
No, I don't think so. No, absolutely not. Now think about it. I think Beer Money has that record. Hold on. In terms of just the Impact, not counting NWA tag titles when they had it, it's the Wolves and Beer Money are tied with 5 reigns each.
And More Machine Guns.
They've had it 3 times.
Okay. It could be building. I'm thinking about they could be building like what they do with Charlotte Flair now. They could be building them up to break the record eventually.
I
mean, what's the story going into this? This is just they just challenged them. They were like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, there was a feud between Time Machine, which Time Splitters, Motor Machine Guns, and Bullet Club. Bullet Club got that win, sacrificed. They earned them a tag title shot. Now Bullet Club are champions, and Motor Machine Guns just want their rematch. That's pretty much all that's going on here.
I don't know. I'll give it the Bullet Club to retain.
Yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be like last time. I'm gonna say the champions retain. There's gonna be everybody wins a new title tonight. I mean, okay, to be fair, one match we're guaranteed a new champion.
Yeah, Gary.
At least one match we're guaranteed a new champion. But
Vacant,
yeah, Vacant. Unexpectedly so happy that he won the Impact World Championship, man. But anyways, I'll give it the Bullet Club. Bullet Club needs that. Apparently Finley's their leader now. On Sakura Genesis, they kicked ELP out, which was weirdly heartbreaking considering the guy plays a douche pretty well.
He's a douche, but he's a loyal douche.
He's a loyal douche. But
of all people to be loyal to, though, Jay White. I was like, oh, Jay White's a face because they kicked him out. I was like, he's still a douchebag. What the hell? It's
and according to his entrance graphic from last week's Dynamite, he's still technically a member of Bullet Club according to that fucking entrance.
I don't know. I was like, what are they gonna do? Bullet Club Civil War 2? Electric Boogaloo?
It's the rule of being the leader of Bullet Club, you have to be in New Japan. I mean, that would make sense, but I
don't know.
But no, I'm gonna go with Bullet Club on this. I feel like Bullet Club needs momentum overall, considering they have a new leader. They booted ELP out. They're kind of still not on good terms with House of Torture, even though those guys are still technically fucking Bullet Club. Like,
they should be their own group.
I'm going from the New Japan side of things on this, just because, like, other than that, like, I say Bullet Club, but I can see them helping start building Morrissey Machine Guns to break that tag team title record. Well, Bullet Club. Bullet Club is my final answer.
Is that your final answer? Yes. Like, who wants to be a millionaire? I'm also going Bullet Club. They've been really building them up. They built up Bullet Club for a while. Like this team in particular, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, to get these titles. I don't think they're going to lose them this soon.
Well, you never know what happens on an Impact show. That's why
truth.
I'm going with the Motor City Machine Guns.
Motor City. All right. So Chris and I went for Bullet Club. Mo went for the Machine Guns. All right. This next match is going to be really good. It's a 3-way elimination match for the X Division Championship. Trey Miguel's defending against both Mike Bailey and Jonathan Grisham. 3 of the best high flyers there is right now.
By the way, Grisham finally came out and talked more about his situation at TK. Just overall, he still considers TK a good guy and stuff. It was just the heat of the moment where he went off on him and stuff. They're still on good terms, according to him. Yeah.
I think Grisham, when Grisham was first signed by Impact, I was like, he's going to be great in the X Division. So because of that, and Miguel's been champion since November. Yeah, November. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with Jonathan Grisham to win the X Division title.
Yeah. So is that basically the story? Is that just like with the tag team one? They just, hey, we want to challenge you. Sure. Is it just that, or like? Let
me remind myself.
Because I know Trey Miguel's a heel now. I know Bailey is a face. Is Grisham like a betweener right now, or like...
Grisham's a face.
Grisham's a face. Okay. So I mean, this match is probably going to be matched. I know we'll get to it later, but I think could be easily matched tonight.
Here we go.
Okay.
So I had to remind myself the dates. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, on the April 6th edition of Impact, Jonathan Grisham and Mike Bailey wrestled each other to determine the #1 contender. But Trey Miguel came down and he was on commentary. He interrupted the match and attacked both men. He was trying to get out defend the title. He pulled a Walter. He tried to get out defend the title by attacking both men, but Santino's like, basically the exact same thing that happened at WrestleMania. Oh, so you don't want to wrestle one of them? You're gonna wrestle both of them in elimination.
Really? Match. Are you okay? If Taz came out and said something like bullshit like that, I would be like, you know what? He's not that half wrong. Like, literally, you're doing this a couple weeks after SmackDown did it, and now, like,
to be fair, it's not the first. They weren't the first to do it either. It's
I know.
The standard thing we want to set up a triple threat match.
But yeah, that's all that is. Standard. That's how you do a triple threat with like 2 baby faces involved. But yeah, I'll go Grisham. Like, I know Bailey's held it before. He had that really good match against what was it, Kazarian at Bound for Glory last year?
Yeah.
It was Bound for Glory. Okay.
Yeah, Kazarian won it, cashed in option C, and Trey Miguel won the tournament to get the title. So he's held it since then. So I'm gonna go with Grisham. I feel like it's time to give him a title. Like, this dude's amazing. Bailey's fine. Bailey's great. He'll be fine eating at L. Because you said he's been holding since November. I can see Trey retaining, but I could see Grisham winning. So you're going with Grisham. What about you, Mo? You go for Miguel, Grisham, or Bailey? It's hard. You can actually go any of these ways. I'm gonna go for Gresham because he's never held it. I like to see him getting a run with it.
Yeah, I think Trey's gonna keep the title.
Yeah,
I feel like if anything, I feel like it would be cool to see Gresham and Grace have a tag team title. Oh, that'd actually be an interesting idea. But we're gonna get to Grace in a little bit, so we'll see about that.
All right, so you're going with Trey retaining. Ooh,
Yes.
okay. So here we go. It's gonna be fun. In a 10 wrestler hardcore war, it's gonna be Team Dreamer taking on Team Bully Ray.
Is this just a big 10-man tornado tag?
We've seen those. Like we've
Oh,
seen,
Texas tornado tag.
Like we've seen hardcore wars before. Remember, like in the past few pay-per-views, like they basically do it every so often. This is basically what they've been doing when they want to do a big blow-off faction type. It's kind of like a cross between War Games and Survivor Series match, with like no cage or anything like that. Basically, you want to get two guys finish it off, they get a team together and just go beat each other up. So I think you guys know the backstory with Dreamer and Bully Ray.
Mm-hmm.
When Bully Ray came back to Impact, he presented himself as a babyface, saying how he had changed and he was a new man, and everybody was calling him out as bullshit, saying you're the same Bully Ray. And Dreamer is like, hold on, guys, maybe he is. And then, but then he starts like, well, you got to understand why they don't trust you. He's like, you don't trust me? You don't trust me? And then obviously Bully Ray revealed himself to be the D-bag that he is. And he attacked Tommy Dreamer. And at Sacrifice, Bully Ray and Tommy Dreamer faced each other in a busted open match, which was basically first blood match. And during the match, Dreamer was able to make Bully Ray bleed, but the referee was knocked out and didn't see it. So Bully Ray's allies, the Good Hands, which is Jason Hodge and John Schuyler, came out and attacked Dreamer, made him bleed, and cleaned up Ray's wounds. So when the referee came to, he saw Dreamer bleeding and not Bully Ray, so Bully Ray won. After the match, Bully Ray and the Good Hands would continue to beat up Dreamer, but he would be saved by Yuya Yamura, which is the New Japan guy who's on Excursion and Impact right now. And he was also saved by National Hockey League legend Darren McCarty. I don't know who that is. I don't follow hockey. Then because Bully Ray had been antagonizing him, he was in the front row that whole show. So Impact Wrestling president Scott D'Amore, who'd been away from Impact after he got put through a table by Bully Ray, he would return lead like a whole army of wrestlers, which include Heath, Rhino, Gresham, Bailey, and Joe Hendry, to take out the Good Hands and send Bully Ray running. So they need to, in order to settle their feud once and for all, Impact announced that Dreamer and Ray would have to put together a team of 5, and they would face each other in a hardcore war at Rebellion. Dreamer originally asked Scott D'Amore to be part of the team, but because of his responsibilities, he turned him down. So this is the teams they've come up with. Team Dreamer is Tommy Dreamer, Frankie Kazarian, Yuya Yamura. I'm going to try this really hard. Bhupinder Gunjar. Bhupinder Gunjar. I will get it eventually. Bhupinder Gunjar and Killer Kelly. Team Bully Ray is Bully Ray, Kenny King, The Good Hands, and Masha Slamovich.
Excuse me, that's GCW World Champion Masha Slamovich. Good sir.
I know. So they each
surprised the shit out of me. I'm like, wait, what?
I'm not surprised by anything GCW does. So yeah, it's 4 men and 1 woman on each team, but at least like the women they have in this team, Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich, are believable to be in a match like this. Because Killer Kelly, that's another good women's signing that Impact got recently. When they've got Kylie King, Killer Kelly, they've been getting a lot of good signings for their women's division. So yeah, final showdown between Dreamer and Bully Ray. Hardcore war. Which team comes out on top?
Now.
Which team comes out on top?
I say Team Dreamer, because why not? We gotta get a good old big team win. There's like, just realized there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 tag team matches on this show. Half the matches are tag team matches.
Yeah,
no, I'll give it to Team Dreamer. Should be fun. A lot of chaos. I think ultimately
I've enjoyed the past hardcore wars they've done.
Yeah, it's 4. Yeah, but I'll go with Team Dreamer. You know, why not? Give the good guys a big old W.
Yeah, I'm also going with Team Dreamer. It helps to have Frank Kazarian on their team. What about you, Mo?
I mean, it would be tempting to be contrarian, but it is also better to be obvious, and that the obvious choice is going with the feel-good team of Team Dreamer.
Team Dreamer, I believe.
Okay. Well, Nick, what else do we have going on after that?
Well, this is a unique situation we got going on here. It could be one type of match or another. Right, it is currently scheduled to be a three-way match for the Impact Knockouts World Title.
I love
defending
those
champion.
three-ways.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why this one's a three-way. Defending champion Mickie James against Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. However, if Mickie James is not cleared to compete, it'll be a one-on-one match between Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo for the vacant title. So, little backstory on this. At Sacrifice, Mickie James was originally scheduled to defend the Impact Knockouts World Title against Jordan Grace in a rematch from Hard to Kill. However, prior to Sacrifice, it was announced that James had suffered an injury and would not be able to compete. So at the event, Mickie James and Santino Marella had a sit-down interview and explained she suffered a broken rib. So they revealed that Grace would get her title shot at Rebellion. But before that, James was also supposed to defend the title against Multiverse United against Deonna Purrazzo, Giselle Shaw, and Miyu Yamashita. But since she couldn't compete in that match, they replaced Mickie James with Masha Slamovich, and the winner of that match would be added to the match at Rebellion. That way, if Mickie James isn't cleared to compete, the winner of that match ended up being Deonna Purrazzo. Then if she's not able to compete, then they can just have Purrazzo and Grace face each other for the vacant title. So they are going to address this tomorrow night, as of this recording, on Impact to determine whether she's cleared to compete or not. Yes. So we basically have to make a decision based on two scenarios, whether she's in the match or whether she's not in the match.
Okay. If she's in the match, I would say Mickie retains. Is she still doing, even with the title, is she still doing if she loses, she retires?
No, that ended when she got the title.
Okay. No, I'm just asking.
It would be funny if every single time she's just like, if I don't lose this match, I'm going to retire. And then she just keeps on winning and she has a Roman Reigns kind of streak.
I was just curious. Okay, so if she's in the match, I say Mickie retains. It feels like it shouldn't just go to somebody who's already been a prior champion. It should be going to Masha Slamovich, in my fucking opinion, but that's where we're not at right now. So I still think it should go to Slamovich, maybe at Slammiversary. But if I would say Mickie retains if she's in it. If she's not in it, I could see what you guys were saying before, but like if Gresham wins, I could see Grace winning it. Just to have like a couple actually winning at winning at Rebellion. It'd be a bit of history making.
Yeah,
winning titles.
Yeah, I agree. Like if Mickey's in the match, I think she's gonna retain, but if she does, I can see them putting the belt back on Grace. Because honestly, Deonna Purrazzo, she hasn't been doing much lately. But that could be another reason why they could put the belt on her. But she had that dominant reign as champion not too long ago. I say not too long ago, about a year ago.
Right.
I agree with you, Kristen. If Mickey's in the match, she retains. If she's not, then Grace gets the belt back. What do you think, Mo?
I'm just gonna stick with Grace.
Oh, so not either way?
Either way.
Either way. Okay.
No, that's cool. I still think Slamovich is the next Impact Women's World Champion, like Knockouts champion, like easily. It has to be Slamovich.
Yeah. The thing is, they've had her lose so many opportunities. They got to build her back up. So that's why I think Slammiversary would be a good time to do it then.
Yeah.
So she'll probably have a good showing in the Hardcore War.
We'll have to wait and see on that.
All right. So speaking of vacant titles.
Oh, this one was easy to determine.
For the You think so, wouldn't you? For the vacant,
he's already playing the Impact Swerve card on the main event match.
For the vacant Impact World Title, Kushida versus Steve Macklin. Winner will be the new champion. So a little backstory for those out there who haven't been keeping up with Impact. Let me find it. Get to my dates correct. Here we go. So, as we know, Josh Alexander has been had a dominant run as Impact World Champion. One of the best runs I've seen with the belt in a while.
It's been all right.
It's been all right. Okay.
Nice.
So, at No Surrender this past February, Steve Macklin won a fatal 4-way number one contenders match against Brian Myers, Heath Slater, and PCO to earn a shot at the Impact World Title at Rebellion. So they announced that. But then they announced also that Alexander was going to defend the title against Kushida at Multiverse United, with the winner of Alexander and Kushida facing Macklin at Rebellion. Unfortunately, before either of those title defenses, Alexander would. I'm trying to remember his exact injury. Yeah, he had he tore his triceps. Which means he's probably going to be gone for a while with a torn tricep. I don't know if they've given an actual estimate of how long he'll be gone. But since he could not defend the title against Kushida at Multiverse United, they decided that Kushida would go on to Rebellion to face Steve Macklin for the vacant title.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we're at. And I mentioned before the show, but for the audience, what happened when Alexander came to the ring with his wife and child to give the belt to Scott D'Amore, his kid grabbed the belt because he didn't want his daddy to lose the title.
And then Nick told us that he was so excited when Moose came out of nowhere and then speared his whole family in front of Alexander yet again.
Yeah.
And then slammed the belt in the trash.
Well, not this time. This time Steve Macklin just came out and was being a dick to the kid. So,
well,
because Steve Macklin's a dick.
Better.
Yeah, Moose has been busy lately. He just got done with that feud with Joe Hendry. Say his name. I believe in Joe Hendry. But yeah, here we go. Macklin, Kushida for the world's vacant title. They've been building up Macklin for a good time. I think Macklin is a really good example how Impact can take somebody and just build them up to be a legitimate main eventer. Because as viewers out there know, Steve Macklin was once Steve Cutler in WWE, where he did pretty much nothing. He went from one failed gimmick to another. They ultimately did nothing with him. They released him. He went to Impact, and they have slowly built him out to being a very believable world champion contender, which I think, like, bravo to Impact on that.
Mm-hmm.
And it does seem kind of obvious because Kushida is a guest in Impact. He's a New Japan guy having this little run in Impact as a guest run. So would make sense for Macklin to win, as I actually believe Macklin was going to be the one in Alexander's reign anyways. But you never know. Maybe Kushida can stay a little longer. Who knows? But ultimately, I'm going with Macklin on this.
Yeah. Impact will do what WWE couldn't this month and actually finish the story. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Macklin as well. I won't be surprised if they pull the Impact TNA swerve and give it to Kushida, but Macklin.
I think they've had Macklin miss so many opportunities up to this point. You kind of have to do it with this.
Yeah, Macklin. That's it. I don't have anything else. It's basically.
Although Kushida would be a believable world champion.
It was supposed to be Alexander Macklin, and Macklin was definitely supposed to be the one to finally break Alexander's streak, but we didn't get that. So instead, we're just going to get Macklin destroys a New Japan star instead. So,
yeah. What do you think, Mo?
Well, you guys have so little faith in Kushida. I, on the other hand, think that it would be incredible for Kushida to win, especially after being in NXT land for so long. And not only that, but I could see it being a pretty interesting technical match between him and a returning Alexander.
I feel like though, with the way Macklin came out and mocked Alexander for having to vacate the title, they're setting it up for when Alexander does come back to get the belt from Macklin. So yeah, so I think Macklin's going to win and have a lengthy run with the belt until Alexander comes back. But are you going with Kushida?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right, then. So it should be interesting who's going to go with that. So that is the card for this upcoming Impact Wrestling Rebellion.
Okay. So what do we think is going to be the best match of the night?
The X Division title match.
X Division title match. Okay. God damn it. I'm going to have to agree with you on that. Like, I think the Hardcore War match is going to be a big, chaotic fun.
Yeah.
Like, overall, it's going to be ridiculous. But, damn, you got top three cruiserweight level guy, like junior heavyweight guys
in the world,
X Division.
Not just in
the world going at it in this card. Like, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go with the X Division Championship. Though, I wouldn't be put past it that the tag title match would be good.
It is Ultimate X.
But I'll go with the X Division Championship match.
What do you think, Mo? Is this going to be the best match?
I'm trying to think. I do want to believe the
Joe
X
Hendry
division. I'm leaving.
Sorry. I need to get closer to the mic.
I'm leaving. No, I honestly do think it's going to be the X Division title match. I'm kind of wondering if that's going to be like on first.
It might be, yeah.
Usually it is. Usually the X Division is, and then it's kind of like, okay, we'll see how the rest of the show goes from here. But I'm feeling like that's going to be the main highlight of the show.
Yeah. Okay, so we all agree on the X Division title match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you want me to wrap it up, Nick?
Yeah, you're just so good at it.
So, other than that, if you're new to the channel, you can hit the like button. If you want to talk to us more about stuff like this, comment down below. If you want to share us around, share it around. And if you like us just a little bit more than anybody else when it comes to talking about some good old-fashioned wrestling, hit the subscribe button down below and hit that bell icon as well. Let us know your predictions for Impact Rebellion 2023. What do you think is going to be your favorite match of the night? What do you think is going to be your favorite moment of the night? How do you think the Mickie James Impact Knockouts World Championship situation is going to go down? Let us know in the comments down below. Put down what you thought of our predictions overall. I nailed it that time. But most importantly, we thank you for watching. Now, of course, fellows, where can they find you somewhere on the internet?
Oh, you can just come find me over on Facebook land, on the Twitters, on the Instagrams. You can just find me on the socials. Follow me on there if you like. But Mo, my dear friend Mo, where can they find you on this World Wide Web?
On the World Wide Web?
Yes.
Was Afro Mo, bro. I mean, that's how you're gonna find me, is Afro Mo, bro, on Instagram and music streaming services. But if you really want to find me, I'm outside your window right now, getting ready to play a boombox full of classic slow jams, and I'm wearing this nice jacket. I don't have it on right now, but I'm getting ready to go outside your window, hold up a boombox, just express my feelings of love for each and every one of you.
He's done, Kristen.
Okay. You wrap up as well, Nick? I didn't hear you.
Yes.
You did?
I said find me on the Facebooks, the Twitters, and the Instagrams.
Okay, cool. And of course, guys, if you want, you can check out their reactions to WrestleMania 39, both night 1 and night 2. Witness pure, unadulterated depression in that main event. And also
at least for night 2.
And also not only stay tuned for our Impact Rebellion 2023 reactions, but also stay tuned for our me and my brother's WrestleMania LA trip vlog. It should be worked on by the time this comes out. It's still being worked on. We have a lot of videos we're recording right now to get caught up. And my brother's slowly working on the vlog. We have a lot of it, not short length videos, but a lot of videos he has to process and go through and organize and put it all together. You'll get to see our general reaction. I don't know how it looks when I walk out of the main event match at WrestleMania 39 Night 2, but it pretty much is the equivalent of me getting up and telling my brother, let's go.
You look like your grandma just died.
Yeah, so yeah, stay tuned for that as well. And of course, our upcoming next WWE event being Backlash as well.
Backlash. Puerto Rico.
Yes, but until next time, though, I'm Kristen.
I'm Nick Slade.
And I am Mo Brothers.
And this has been another exciting predictions edition of 1, 2, 3 Wrestling. So we will see you guys later.
Hey guys, thanks for watching.
If you want to check out any of our previous reactions,
As well as one of our other SRB shows.
check out one of the playlists down below.
And if you want to check us out in the social universe,
You can find us on Twitter and Stardust,
at Super React Bros.
as well as on Facebook.
At Super Reaction Bros.